What's up, guys? Aaron here with the Lean and Mean Academy. Glad we're back. Look, everybody in our industry wants to clean luxury homes similar to the one behind me. This one's about 11,000 square foot. Beautiful, beautiful place. We do this thing every year. The guy's in Florida. He says, look, just find shit and bill me. Let's talk a little bit about this. Stay tuned. That's a deal.
To get started in the pressure washing business.
What's up, guys? Aaron here with the Lean and Mean Academy. Welcome back.
3, 2, 1.
And that we're trained inside of our minds subconsciously.
Look at that. Number 1. Hey! Hey! What are you doing, man?
What's up, guys? So one of the big questions most people have is, how to clean luxury properties like this and how to do them on a recurring basis. So let me tell you the first thing, that you really got to have before you even get to start cleaning these types of properties. You got to be found, right? This guy it's not even in a gated community, okay? Which is a lot of like the big questions that I get, or that everyone has an issue with. How do I get in the gated community? Well, like, what if it's not gated, right? Like, what if it's just you're not being found? Okay, so this guy found me on Google. We've been cleaning his place for a little over 2 years now, and literally it's a phone call. He's like, hey man, I'm going to Florida, the place is all yours, just bill me for whatever you want to do. If you see some pressure washing, do it. If we want window cleaning, we want everything, just bill me and I'll pay you. So that's kind of the situation when it comes to this relationship. Now, when I met with this guy, we connected on a lot of different levels just beyond us coming to clean his place. Through the estimate walkthrough, I spent over an hour and a half with him talking about he had a big giant Panerai watch on his arm, and I'm a huge Panerai watch fan. And we were talking about that. We were talking about business. He owns a janitorial service in another city, and this place is about 11,000 square foot. So he's got a giant pool, 3 G-Wagons. It's a beautiful spot, and he's a guy who's kind of turned into a business mentor for me, and I pushed him into that, honestly. But guys, you're always asking, how do you get to these, and how do you get to do these on a recurring basis? Well, the truth is you got to be found, man. Like, if they cannot find you, what kind of flyer do you think is going to land in this person's inbox while their assistant is the one getting the flyer, right? The nanny or the butler is the one getting the flyer, right? No, what they're going to do is, when they are told to, that they need it, they're going to Google on their phone while they're shopping at Whole Foods, pressure washing service, okay? Now, obviously they could call you from a flyer too, that's fine. But the truth is you got to understand where these people are in their mind and who is doing the work. Usually it's not them, usually it's somebody else who's going to be calling you, reaching out and sorting it, and then you may get to them. Now, this prospect, now customer, called me himself, and since then, some of you guys see the dealership, the Mercedes dealership that we do on my website. We clean all the windows for that too. That's his best friend. So this is one of those businesses, one of those relationships that we've developed that bring us thousands of dollars a year in highly positioned, high ticket environments, okay? So that's one of the keys. In a mean environment, what do you think I'm gonna do here today, okay? I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna drop Luke Dog off here, and he's gonna be cleaning these windows, the exteriors only, all day long. The exterior window cleaning alone is definitely gonna be over $1,000 at least. Not exactly sure, because we have only cleaned pieces of this house before. We haven't cleaned the entire house at one time, so I need to go look back in my records just to see about how much it's going to cost. But that's one of the joys of being able to sell at high ticket and develop these relationships, guys, is that if you're being found on Google in the top, right, and these guys can drive in their G-Wagons and fucking press the button and call you, right? It's convenience. All right, that's what gets you in the gated community. Positioning through convenience, positioning through ranking well. A lot of people don't understand that the SEO and the website company that they're paying to rank them is the best investment they could possibly shell out this year, because that is penetrating all the bullshit, all the gates, because Google goes into their Wi-Fi, right? There is no gate. You don't have to knock on, tell the guard tower that you're going to give an estimate for this place. No, no, no. They find you immediately. So you bypass all that nonsense. It's a novel idea. All right, so I'm just finishing up here. And this is a beautiful home. I'm letting some of my water drain out because I don't like rolling that heavy. And I'm gonna patch up that stuff here in a bit. Beautiful home, right? So like I was saying earlier, if you're not being found, none of this matters. All right, I think that's the one thing that is very mystical for a lot of guys in this business. Flyers aren't mystical, right? Sending out EDDM isn't mystical, though it can drive tons of revenue for your business. Being found on Google, right, is the mystical thing, maybe. And then closing the sale, right? That's another thing that's very hard for a lot of people to figure out is, you know, there's no difference between closing a pressure washing deal and closing a deal for rocket fuel. Sales is sales. One of the big things you have to understand is that you're not in the business of selling pressure washing. You're in the business of developing a rare, unique skill of finding qualified buyers. That's what you're in the business of, okay? And he still won't let me do his damn roof, which I'm bitter about. But because that would be a big old fat paycheck right there. And but look, so what I'm saying with all this is that you can do this. You can build this business, all right? Just don't get distracted, man. Just don't get distracted, all right? There's a lot of distractions. My hands smell like hamburger. Whatever. Just don't get distracted, okay? It's easy to get distracted because distractions are cheap. Distractions require no commitment. Fellas, this goes for women as well in your life, right? If you got a wife, distractions from your marriage are cheap. Now look, if your marriage ain't going right and it ain't hot no more, then you need to have a real conversation, right? That's just reality. We don't just let things go. Let things go along and drag out for the sake of anything. You have to take responsibility and you have to take the reins. You're gonna get some pushback probably, just like you will with prospects. But in the end, prospects want someone of authority. Prospects want someone who knows what they're talking about. They want someone who, look, even if you don't, you need to sell it, okay? Now, a lot of people are gonna, look, I may get thumbs down on this video. Like, I really don't care. Like, I care less about haters in pressure washing than I do about if there's like termites eating my wood or my landlord's wood here. I just don't. But these are things, these are hard conversations you have to have. You have to have these with yourself. You may need to have them with your family, with your wife. You know, be gentle on your kids. Be gentle on them in that words do shape them. Words shape their minds. And with your kids, you need to encourage them more than you crack the whip, because you can crack the whip through encouragement. You can. And they uniquely respond better, I think, in that way. But you'd be surprised what encouragement can do. And encouragement to you would be that you can do this business and you can build it into something that you can work where you want to work, and you can work for who you want to work for, and you can eat hamburgers on the weekend. What the hell is going on? Oh, that's the light on my shoulder. You can travel, you can do fun things. You can build a family around this business. Now, if you want to live in the house in this video, then pressure washing is not the right avenue. I promise you, it's not the right avenue. I know guys with multi-million-dollar companies, and just because here's the issue. Just because you scale it, all right. If you double the revenue of the company and your income doesn't double, right? Your take home doesn't double, then we got a problem. Not a problem in that, like, there's a problem, you know, innately with the model, right? That's not the case. The model is the model, right? You got moving pieces, you got equipment, you got, you know, your helpers, your workers. That's going to be the way it is. Sadly, that's just kind of how it works. But if you're wanting to live in an 11,000 square foot mansion, this is not the business for you. Okay? I suggest finding something and developing a high value competency and dipping your toe into a rabid congregated group of buyers who are willing to pay you. The problem with pressure washing is that it's a luxury service, and it doesn't matter which way you shake it, all right? Until people are coming out the door and literally breaking their arm on algae, right? Sadly, algae doesn't grow as fast as I need it to for that to happen, to where we can show up every day and do $1,000 jobs at the same location every single day, right? There's just natural things that have to happen. And sometimes, you know, there is a Ricky Bobby with a Ryobi who customers are fine with hiring that, right? We all like to embellish the thought that you can just put your prices up here and you're never going to lose business. Dude, like, you're just not going to close everyone, all right? But a lot of this is based on pushing yourself into an environment where you have a ton of leads and you do have the courage to close and be the most expensive. Which, with that courage, you have to have the courage to lose the business, right? Lose some leads to being too expensive, right? That's what you gotta have. And to me, good riddance. You know? I don't like working for cheap people. I don't work for cheap people. I don't consult for cheap people. See what I'm saying? I just don't. I loathe low frequency, like, scarcity mentality. I loathe it, man. You know, I reduce the amount of some of my family that I talk to because of they have that mentality. I don't have any problem with it. And if you do have a problem with it, you're gonna slide back and you're gonna get stuck there. Because if you don't develop a deep-seated resentment towards the mediocre mentality, you will gradually slide back in. Okay? It's just how it works. It's interesting in that way. Doesn't mean you don't love them. It just means that you're not gonna put up with bullshit no more. It just means that you're not okay with living broke. It just means that you're not okay with absorbing their negative Nancy thoughts, right? Get that shit out of here. See, most multimillionaires are not uber optimistic, uber positive people, okay? They're just very objective and very real. It's like, this is the reality. The reality is this. And the reality is not good or bad, it just is the reality. See, a lot of times we attach a good or bad thought onto whatever reality is. It's like, well, you lost business, you know, you had some people cancel this week, that's bad. No, it just is what it is. It's not, look, next week I'll close like 5 deals. This is how things happen, you see what I'm saying? Meaning I'll close 5 bigger deals. We got a big job coming up Monday. It's a big job, big commercial job. It'll take us 2 days or something. It's not huge, but it's big enough. It's good for us. So that's what you got to think about, you know. You're not going to close everything. You're not going to close all your family. You know, when you start cranking in this environment and you up your frequency and you up your level and you up your energy and you up your belief and you close yourself on the thought of building a business. Look, if you can build a pressure washing business from the ground up, you can build any business. What you're going to run into is you're going to have to figure out how to delegate. A lot of people can't delegate, and I really prefer only working with experts. I don't like working with knuckleheads. That's my own issue. I don't think it's an issue. It just is what it is. What, you don't like working with knuckleheads? You don't like? Hey, look. You just gotta coach it. You gotta encourage them now. Look, you want to work with knucklehead? When Knucklehead goes, it gets done. Now, I got a great guy who works for me, dude. He shows up on time every single day. Dude works hard. We'll work all freaking day. He's half Puerto Rican. Good dude. Luke. How did I find him? I get questions about that. How I found him, I literally put an ad on Indeed. I boosted the ad. And I literally listed out how terrible this job is. That's what I told him. I was like, how terrible. It's hot. You're gonna be wet. Yeah, list out the worst shit, man, that you could possibly think of. Dude showed up on time for the interview. And, we ain't never look back, okay? But just give it to them straight, man. People want it straight, okay? Your prospects want it straight. The people who work for you want it straight. Stop putting this cushion around it. You're not helping anybody. People call that nice. That's actually really, really mean. You're not doing anyone any favors like that. I'm not doing you any favors if I do that. Do you think I care about money I make from this channel? Literally? Are we serious? That's a joke, right? Like, what am I gonna get? 100,000 views on a satisfying pressure washing video? Really? Like, nah, man. That's not what this is about. That's the unique thing. I've almost been able to change Google rankings and bump Google rankings on command at this point. And I just stumbled across, like, I studied a lot, but like once I got the foundation, I'd taken a lot of courses and I learned, and I really had to figure out a way to factor that into local business, you know, local service business. And I got an amazing web team that does all my stuff. I don't handle anything in that regard, and I don't recommend you either, because you're not a heart surgeon, nor are you a web guy, okay? If you are, then why are you pressure washing? You shouldn't be doing that stuff. But everybody wants to be everything in their business. That's a problem. It's e-myth, you know? It's a problem. So, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you being here on the channel. And, I appreciate all the messages. A lot of times I can't get back to everybody because I got other shit I'm doing. But I know one of the big things I always come back to is your marketing and your sales, and that's what this channel is really about. It's not really even about pressure washing. Pressure washing just so happens to be the liaison to those things. It's the reason that people call. It's the reason for the sales. That's what it is. But it's really about marketing and about sales. And I live in the land of making sure that your website is tight. And I will forever harp on that. Forever. Why? Because the things that are right in front of your face, usually, it's the mundane activities, the daily mundane activities that they're not embellished, they're not fun, they're not sexy. They're the ones. They're the prime movers. Okay? Look, we can like figure out this campaign, figure out this campaign, figure out this flyer, figure out this Facebook ad, figure out this targeting, this retarget, this pixel, this thing, and it's like, that's cool. I was talking to one of my buddies who's like a Jedi at Facebook ads, and he was talking to me what ads are. Ads are basically nitrous. That's what they are. So if you got a broke ass Civic and you put nitrous in it, NOS, you're gonna find out real quick that that's a broke ass Civic. On the contrary, if you put nitrous to a completely well-oiled machine that is built for it, built for high performance, and you can close those leads, then it's gonna maximize, you're gonna blow your competition away. That's what ads are. But the first things first, we gotta get some people coming in. We gotta start building that. And going into the winter is the best time to have your website built. Reason being is because Google does not index everything immediately. A lot of people want to wait till spring. That's a terrible idea, dude. You're setting yourself up for failure. Because it's going to be summertime. It's going to be midsummer before the thing gets built and indexed. Alright? And it's just going to cost you thousands of dollars for just waiting. Think about that. Think about the money you'll miss just by waiting. That's pretty insane. What if you miss out on 10 grand just by waiting? That one excuse, right? I wonder how many other opportunities there are that we're missing out on because we're waiting to get everything lined up and waiting to get everything right. Nothing's ever going to be right, man. Nothing's going to be perfect. Nothing's going to be set up to where you're like, I have it. What you need to do today is you need to go out and you need to clean a gutter, and you need to get $200 for the gutter cleaning. Then you need to get your website built. That's what you need to do. You need to quit putting it off. Click the link below. Get my team to build it, or don't, right? Get somebody to build it. Get somebody who's going to make sure they maintain it. They're going to do all your citation maintenance. They're going to do all your on-page SEO. They're going to do your GMB optimization, okay? Get somebody who's going to do that, whoever it is, and pay them to do it. Like now. Before it comes March, dude. Before Christmas money starts going out, right? Before. Just go ahead. Go. Talk to your family, talk to your wife if you got one, and say, look, this is gonna be an expense, it's going out. But it's not an expense, dude. It's a subscription. It's marketing for your business. It's a write-off. I wrote off thousands of dollars last year. Thousands of dollars in advertising. Okay? And and it all paid 20x, man. 20x, baby. Have a good one, guys.